Are you a spiritual director, companion, or coach? And you're trying to figure out a way to start a session on a positive note while also regulating any anxious energy that happens to be present. This video will teach you a practice that's going to create a unique sense of calm, and it's going to set the tone for an amazing session. My name's Chris Edwards. I'm a spiritual director, and I'm working on my doctorate in spiritual direction. This is Spiritual Wondering. It's a community for spiritual directors, companions, coaches, and other people who work in the spiritual space in a one-on-one setting. This video is part of a series that's specifically addressing how do I start a session. We're going to talk about HeartMath. This is a tool that was designed to connect the mind and the heart through breathing and mindfulness. It's about heart rate variability, which is not about how slow or fast your heart is beating, but about how responsive it is to stimulus. As researchers have worked on biofeedback in this area, they've discovered that through some exercises, we can start to hijack the neural pathway that's between the mind and the heart. The heart has an interesting relationship with the mind. Generally, we think that the mind has these thoughts and then sends all of the stimulus down to the rest of the body. But what's interesting about the heart is it actually has kind of its own little mini brain, and it sends signals back up to the brain. And so it's a two-way communication between the head and the heart. And what this means is that if you can calm the heart down, you can calm the brain down, and vice versa. We generally try to calm the brain down to calm the heart down. But these exercises are designed to go the other way. They're designed to slow the heart rhythm and put the rhythm of the heart into a natural, steady pace that tells the brain, oh, I'm safe. These exercises are excellent for stress reduction, centering, and they even give us a sense of resiliency. In spiritual direction, essentially, we're listening for the voice of God and trying to help the directee or the person that we're working with also listen for the voice of God. We know that the voice of God often comes in a still, small, quiet voice. And in this case, it's good for us to quiet ourselves so that we're centered enough to hear that voice. And that's why this technique is really helpful. It helps both the directee and the director get present in the moment. Reduce anxiety, kind of shelf and put that to the side, and it helps us prepare to engage deeply. One of the other things I really like about this one is that it creates a really clear delineation between what happened before the session and when the session is beginning. Essentially, it helps to create a sacred space. So I'm going to introduce you to the 4 steps involved, and I'm going to explain each of those, and then we're actually going to do a demonstration. I'm going to lead you through the process of HeartMath yourself. But let's start with the 4 steps. The first step, we focus on our breathing. And so when I'm working with a client, I might actually get them to put their hand on their chest and notice and feel the chest rise and fall, to notice the breathing. I'm also probably going to get them to focus on lengthening the out breaths. The in breaths will come naturally. If we slow the out breaths down, then the in breaths start to slow down as well. So I usually have them take a few breaths where their hand is on the chest and they're noticing that sense of breathing. And then we get to step 2. Step 2, we bring our attention to the heart space. At this point, I've already asked them to put their hands on the center of the heart. And so when we go to focus in that area, I'm just bringing their attention to that space, and I might get them to linger there a little longer. And we get to step 3. In step 3, we're going to focus on some sort of a positive emotion or a memory. And so in the exercise I'm going to do, I'm specifically going to focus on a memory, and as an attempt to embody that a little bit, I'm going to encourage them to try to feel, to experience what happens in their body when this memory comes up, to try to help make that connection. And then step 4 is to return slowly. And this is just a reminder that when we do an exercise like this, we don't want to just end it abruptly, but we need to kind of help them move slowly back into the space. If you're getting value out of this, if it was helpful for you to hear the 4 steps of HeartMath, I would encourage you to click the like button and the subscribe button. That lets me know that this is helpful content to you, and I'm more likely to put more out. And it also makes sure that if I put some more content out, that it gets to you and you get to see it. Let's go ahead and center ourselves a little bit. And just like I said, step one, we're going to focus on our breathing. So I would encourage you to take one of your hands and place it in the center of your chest where you imagine your heart space to be. And let's just take a few breaths together. Take a deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. Deep breath in, long, slow breath out. Take a couple more breaths in the silence and just let them happen in a comfortable rhythm for you. Step two, we bring our attention to our heart space. So for this, what I want you to do is that hand that's on the heart space, I want you to focus on it and just notice it rise and fall for the next couple breaths. Then move past the surface down into the heart space inside your body and just let your attention sit there for the next few breaths. Now, as you keep a slow rhythm of your breathing and you keep your attention inside that heart space, I want you to look for a memory. I want you to find a memory where you smiled from ear to ear, just a great big smile. Take a couple moments to find that memory now. Whatever memory you found, let's use that one. Try to resist any efforts to find the perfect memory and just accept what's here, what came up. Trust that. And I want you to put it in your memory like it's on a screen, like you're watching a movie. And as you sit in the heart space as the center from which you watch this movie, just put it on repeat and let it play over and over. That memory continues to play. I want you to let yourself go deeper into the experience. Start to notice what you were feeling in that memory. What do you notice in your body? When you get to the space where you smiled, that smile that was ear to ear, I want you to let that smile cross your face in the here and now, just as a way to help you get in touch with that memory a little bit more, to feel that good feeling. I want you to let the video of this memory Let it fade, but see if you can hold on to that smile. See if you can hold on to the body feeling. Bring your attention back to the heart space. If the smile is still there, let it be, but don't try to force it. Just be with the heart space as you breathe in and out. And take a couple moments in this space. Take as long as you need. And when you're ready, I would invite you to share whatever's been coming up for you. This is how I would use this exercise in my spiritual direction sessions. I hope it was a really good experience for you. And I hope that you can trust yourself that this is something that you can do. It's pretty simple. Like, this was a longer version of it that I just did, but step 1, focus on the breathing. Step 2, shift your attention down to the heart. Step 3, find a good emotion and sit with that for a moment, and then slowly come back out for step 4. I found it to be a really powerful tool for setting the tone of a session. And I would encourage you to give it a try and see what happens when you start a session this way. Especially if you're working with somebody who maybe comes in with some anxious energy. Maybe they're talking really fast. This helps them slow down, helps them get centered. It helps you get centered and be ready to be present. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to talking to you more. Leave a comment, ask questions. I love to engage with folks around this content. Blessings.